Welcome to Automate Your Agency. Every week, we bring you expert insights, practical tips, and success stories that will help you streamline your business operations and boost your growth. Let's get started on your journey to more efficient and scalable operations.
Okay, so we get asked this question all the time. What are the common use cases that businesses are using for AI, for automation, for ChatGPT? And so I thought it would be helpful to put together a list of the top 10 use cases that we see across businesses, across clients, across people that we talk to, and just get this out there. Okay, so the first one is awesome. We use this ourselves. Anytime you're a service based business, you need to do estimates, you need to do scopes, statement of works, etc. This is use case number one. Let AI help you write the project estimate, the project proposal, the SOW. It's amazing. So if you don't leverage AI, essentially either yourself or somebody on your team is going through all the assets. Maybe it's the recorded sales calls, it's the notes, it's all the details about what it is. Then they have to go and find all the product specifications or what services we're providing or how we should say it or how we should price it, etc. Screw all of that, throw that into an AI friendly database, a RAG solution, give an AI agent the ability to query that information, give the AI the access to the transcripts from the recorded sales calls, and let it write it for you. Bonus points if you give it access to the template and all the different areas that it could write for you, and it fills in the template for you so that all that's left is reviewing the proposal and checking out, do I want to edit one or two things? It will literally cut out 90% of the time. It makes proposing so much easier and just really speeds everything up. Use case number two has to deal with automated employee onboarding and training. Traditionally, you hire somebody, they start their first day, you go through a whole onboarding process. Every employee is going to ask a lot of the same questions. The HR team needs to be able to answer these questions. And if you don't have an HR team, that person is you. And that creates a bottleneck, that creates frustration, that creates a bad experience for the first day for any new employee. Again, what if you threw all of these in an AI friendly database that an agent could answer and you throw a chat interface on top of that agent? So now your new employees have an AI powered assistant to help them through their first day. Hey, how do I request PTO? Or where do I find my logins for this? Oh, we use OnePass? Awesome. Now I know what to do. The entire onboarding process, the set of SOPs, which is one use case I'll talk about in a little bit, and all the other different information or different aspects that new hires need to know could be answered by this single chatbot without it interrupting anybody else throughout their first day. Now, caveat here is that is a little impersonal. So, with the time that you've freed up answering repeat questions, put extra effort into greeting people, welcoming them, having real conversations, and supporting them through these tools, not putting them in a corner with these tools. Use case number three deals with project management. So, a lot of times we see, all right, well, we've got this task, we've got this request, we've got this thing that we have to do. Who's going to do it? Well, first, we need our project manager to look at who can do it, who has the right skill set. If they have the right skill set, do they have the time to do it? Does their skill set and the time load match the project requirements? Again, why do we need a human to do this in this day and age with the technology that we have? You have a list of employees or a list of team members or a list of contractors. You give that list associated skills. You also give it the ability to get the number of tasks and the estimated hours of each tasks for each of those employees or team members or contractors. Now AI has all the context. As long as you give it what the request is, AI has all the context to be able to put that together to say, okay, well, let's look at the request. What skills does this fit under? Who has those skills? Cool. Who has the lowest workload of those skills? Awesome. It's going to be Elaine who does this task, or it's going to be Micah who does this task. It can pull out Who needs to do that? That can be a simple chat interface. That can be an automated workflow. It's amazing. Use case number 4. This one is huge for leadership. And not just leadership, middle management, almost anybody on a team who needs to understand what's going on. We see this in the form of, oh my gosh, we have to assemble reports. We get data in on Monday. It takes us 3 days to assemble the reports. And hopefully by Friday, we can give our bosses the report. Or our team gives us the report, depends on who we're talking to. Why are we doing this? Why are we copying and pasting data from one system to another? Automate that shit. Let's take it from various data sources. Let's run it through an automation. Let's transform the data. Let's put it into a combined source, whether that's a database, whether that's a spreadsheet, whether that's Airtable. Throw some charts on top of that, and you've saved yourself tons of hours. And instead of using all this time to create the reports, use that time to analyze the reports. Use case number 5. Intelligent asset and document management. All right. This is a big one because it covers some of these other use cases. But I have this as a separate one because the challenge that we see so many times is that people come in and over the length of them managing their business, they are throwing assets and documents and spreadsheets in folders. Some things are left in email. Some things are mentioned in Slack. There's different versioning. It's a mess, to say the least. Why do we need to do all of that? Well, if we spend a little time organizing that, then we can hook AI up to those folders that have all those files. And now everything can get indexed, kind of like Google indexes websites. Only you can have all of this information synced and indexed across all of this. And this is, on one side, you can connect Drive or SharePoint to an LLM. Great. Start there. That works great. But it is still garbage in, garbage out. So organize your folders, take stuff out of email when you need it, take stuff out of Slack when you need it, get it into documents, or even create agents to help you create these assets, to help create these folders, to help keep everything organized. And you get extra credit for that. But once you have those folders structured, now it's something simple that an AI can index. And now you can leverage that in all your automations. You can leverage that in all your chats. You can leverage that in all your interfaces. You can leverage that for context for other agents. And you're starting to build that foundation. So this use case is super powerful. If you hear terms like RAG, which we have started talking about a lot, and a lot of these use cases can leverage stuff like this, that's what this is all about. Organizing your folders and files, making that accessible to an AI, and then leveraging that across your organization. Use case number 6, automated QA. How many times do we go through situations where we have this double check or triple check? I know in our last business, we had a triple check process because we did not want any content to go out for our clients that did not get completely vetted by our internal team because we did not want to make a single mistake. Well, now we have AI that can help us check all of this kind of stuff. So even today, the way that we use it as a service-based business is once we have a solution internally that's prototyped, we can pass that through an AI, which will do an 8-point inspection of this solution to make sure that we're doing things like, hey, did we put some tests in here? Did we add notes? Did we do this? Did we do that? And instead of having a human have to take their time to check that, all the data and all the context is already in the solution. So we can have AI look at that. And then a human looks at the results to make sure it does it. In fact, we still have a double check solution. The first check is the person who created the solution runs it through the agent that does the 8-point inspection. Makes sense. They can see if they forgot anything. And from that, they can make corrections without bothering anybody, without wasting any time and speeding things up for them. And goes back to self-training themselves. Now, once that passes through and that person goes, okay, I think I did everything, we have a second person use that agent to double check. And it's just that second outside set of eyes that really helps. Hey, is this really what we need to release? Is this the best solution? Is this the most simple solution? Does it include all the requirements that we have in our SOP? Use case 7, workflow handoffs. All right, so this is really common in situations where we have a sales team doing sales. They sell stuff, hopefully. That passes off to project management. Okay. Project management needs a ton of information from the sales team, whether it's the deals or what was sold or the timing or the pricing or the contracts. There's a handoff there. There's also typically a handoff from once a project is created to ongoing service. There's a bunch of knowledge that needs to transfer in between those two teams as well. Traditionally, we have to write briefs, we have to copy and paste data. Seeing a trend? So let's let AI do that. When there's a sale, that's the trigger. All the data that we need in the CRM is already there if it's managed correctly. Let's have AI and automation take that out and hand it off to the project management team. Once project managers are done with the project, let's take all of that information and hand that off to the service team. Now we have seamless workflow handoffs with all the data that needs to go from one team to the other, automatically being handled by the teams just doing what they do best: selling, project managing, and service. Use case 8, internal support. So this one is handling all the repeat questions. I hear things like, how do I do PTO? How do I take the time off? What's the bereavement policy? How do we do this? How do we do that? I need a report. I need this. I need this type of marketing asset. All of this, these repeat questions can go into a database that an AI can access and put a chat interface on top of that and train your team to go ask that chat interface all of these questions. It is literally going to query that knowledge base and produce an answer in seconds without it ever needing to interrupt anybody else on the team. Put this single use case in place as soon as possible, and you'll see a huge change in not only your culture, but the time and the efficiency of your teams, and probably employee satisfaction to boot. All right. Use case 9, organizational knowledge capture. I hate that title, but what it represents is the ability of tribal knowledge that's usually kept in people's heads because they've had this organizational knowledge of working with you, for you. Maybe you're the person that is the founder or the leader that has all the organizational knowledge. You're creating bottlenecks with that. And until you can get that out of your head, there's no way for people to remove that bottleneck. They have to ask you. And it feels good. Feel like you're doing a good job. Feel like you're busy all day. Should that really be what you're working on, or what the people that are creating these bottlenecks should really be working on? Probably not. So how do you get that out? I see things like document frequently asked questions. Put that in a Google Doc, put that in a folder, log that folder into an AI database, put it in that chat interface we're talking about, and suddenly all the lessons that you've learned over the years is now accessible to anybody on the team that needs access to that. Now, this doesn't have to be all at once. We've talked about this in other episodes. The whole concept of if you try to write every SOP for your business all at once, it's just not going to work. Yeah, this isn't going to work either. So the key here is when you think of something, put it in the document. Within 4 hours, that document will be synced with your AI database and your team can start leveraging that information. You get asked another repeat question, you got to think to yourself or train your leadership team to go, I better add that to the database. Open up that Word doc, open up that Google Doc, whatever it is, add in the new thing, save it. And within 4 hours, it'll be synced with your AI friendly database that will be accessible to anybody on the team that needs access to that. This is a complete game changer. Get that knowledge out of your head, get that knowledge out of your team's head, get it indexed, make it an asset of your company, not of the employees that you have or yourself. And the last one, use case number 10, standardized client onboarding. This one is amazing. How many times have we used to do this ourselves, but how many times have we seen other prospects and other companies that we chat with do this as well, which is essentially, hey, we've got a new client. Cool. Now we have a ton of work to do because we have to create folders. We have to create briefs. We have to send the welcome emails. We've got to do this. We've got to do that. We've got to set up projects. We got to do this, blah, 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 blah. And it's hours of work to bring on a new client. Automate this stuff. We've got the ability today to leverage AI and automation to say, when there's a one deal in a CRM, what do we want to do? We want to take that and we want to create folders. We want to create briefs. Here's all the actions that we want to take. We want to set up projects. We want to set up tasks. We want to send notifications. We want to send out welcome emails. Great. Do it all. Set up your system. Diagram it first would be my recommendation. Set that up exactly how you want it to be. And now every time a client comes on board, all of those things happen in seconds instead of having somebody else have to do that and slow your operations down. Speed your operations up, get clients on board. And again, use that free time to better service the clients, and you've got yourself a great solution. Okay, so there are the top 10 use cases that we're seeing near the end of 2025 here as we're going into November and December and the holiday season. Hopefully, this sparks some ideas on some of the things that you can do within your business to speed everything up, to make it a lot easier. Again, there's some base technologies here with RAG solutions for databases and vector databases, chat interfaces because your teams will actually use those, AI, of course, and typical standard automation sequences. So you leverage those together, get these 10 use cases in place, reach out with questions. Thank you so much for watching or listening.